My name is Danielle Baptiste. I'm the Auxiliary Services Coordinator here at Dillard Academy Charter School. Dillard Academy is a small charter school in Wayne County. We opened up in 1998. We serve students who are kindergarten through 4th grade. Next year we're going up to 5th grade, and we also have a pre-K program that we support. Most of our kids come from this local area right here in the inner city. We have a 95% free and reduced lunch rate. About 90% of those kids are on free and reduced lunch because their parents get food stamps.
My name is Cheryl Austin. I'm a born native of Wayne County, Goldsboro. My early education is Wayne County, and my job now is so varied. I'm a retired educator, so I put in maybe 30 plus years and thought surely I would retire, but oh, little did I know that I would be doing all the more. My arms reach in many places right now. I work in the church. I do many things at Dillard Academy in reference to the children and the garden.
When we began in 2006, we had a site at First African Baptist Church. That site had a huge plot of land, and Miss Austin was our site supervisor there. She started the garden, and every last one of those kids who got into 21st century because they were behind in their academics ended up passing their math and science tests after having the after-school program that was geared directly toward working in the garden and cultivating the garden there. And so the school adopted it a year later because it was working.
These children were struggling with their math, reading, science. And there had to be a hook, there had to be some way that we could just really reach outside the box, get their attention, and then let them understand, not really knowing they were learning all the time. And the garden was the real hook.
So what we're going to do here is, and by the way, the guys who laid this out did a good job, but we're going to split them up into smaller beds and then plant these things because it's too wide. And because in order to get, like, if you plant something there and to get to it, you have to walk on the soil. And what did I tell you about walking on the soil?
It won't get no air.
Yeah, you'll compact the soil, and the soil needs to be able to have air go through it, the water and everything.
Believe it or not, you have to watch them because they put their hands in their mouths and dirt everywhere. Dirt in the pockets, dirt in the shoes. I mean, it's just like, dirt everywhere. But as it happened, those children were able to understand many of the math concepts. Much of the, let's say, out-of-the-box thinking in reference to writing and reading, we were able to capture. You won't believe the stories we got from the garden, having seen worms and caterpillars and butterflies, different kinds of soil, different kinds of veggies in reference to different seeds, all those kinds of things. So what it did was awaken their curiosity. So then it wasn't most difficult to show them math skills, you know, the addition, subtraction, this kind of thing. The reading, make up stories.
The garden is incorporated into our curriculum in a variety of ways. We are lucky enough to have a food corps member here assigned to Dillard Academy. She's solely assigned to us. She does our healthy living classes, so she works with students in the garden and with the healthy living standards, and she goes in and sees every child in the school once a week. We also do a lot of work in the garden where the teachers actually go out and use the garden for their lessons in math, science, social studies even. In the summertime, we have a summer program called Seeds to Sales. And the entire idea about Seeds to Sales is that the kids learn about growing plants and gardening from seeds, and then they even go out and sell their produce at the farmer's market to make money for their summer camp program.
All right, go on the other side and kind of toss it over here and make a mound, okay? Yeah, you're doing a good job too.
My name is Charles McNair, and my role here at Dillard Academy is I work in IT and I work in the garden as the garden coordinator. I was here in 1998 and helped start the founding of the school in 98 and left and came back about 5 years ago, and they had the garden was here. I grew up in the country from Halifax, North Carolina, so I grew up doing this. We didn't call it sustainable agriculture. We just did it. And I learned everything from my grandfather.
We grow lots of things in the garden. We have greens, because we're Southern, so we always have lots of greens, spinach and lettuce, tomatoes, cucumbers. We also try to every semester do something different that the kids wouldn't normally see. So we grow kohlrabi and broccoli, arugula, lots of different types of produce so that the kids can really get a chance to expand their horizons.
And actually have grown different things, like black peanuts, North Carolina black peanuts, and moringa. I'm experimenting with moringa, how to keep it alive during the wintertime. What people have started to call nutraceuticals is what we've kind of focused on. My teaching approach in the garden is, my personal style is to have them come along with me, like my grandfather did with me. You have to be right there and do it. And then, if, you correct them and show them the correct way of doing it. A lot of the kids don't even know how to operate a tool. Shoveling, you have to show them, how to use a shovel.
Redistribute pull. You want to pull or push? You want to pull or push? No, I think you want to pull. So get on the other side.
Just turn around.
Turn around. See where I was?
Because I'm an administrator at this school, I think about what's good for all of the kids. And I just see the amazing difference between the number of kids who were obese and not willing to try fresh fruits and vegetables, to now that's what they look for.
One little girl, her mother's on the board here, and she tasted some tamarind I had brought one day, and she was like, "Ooh, it's nasty. Ooh, it's good. Ooh, it's nasty." So every time she sees me, "Mr. Charles, you have anything nasty for me to eat now?" So I was like, no. So one day I saw her mother in the grocery store, and I bought a lemon for her. So I send that home for her. She's gonna love that. It's nasty. And then just this morning, I was paying my bill at the water at town hall, and the lady there at the front counter, I was walking in, and her daughters go here, and so she was asking me some things. And then at the end, she's like, "Oh, what's that thing with the pod that you gave the other little girl?" And I had to think. I was like, "Oh, the tamarind." So to see how the tamarind has moved all the way around and come back to some place I never would have expected, and paying my water bill at town hall, but knowing that it's passed from that little girl to their parents, because their parents asked me about it, to the parents of another child, So, just to get that type of information and exposure out to children who come from, socioeconomic background, that's a lower socioeconomic background, is, to me, a success story, and to have them ask about it. What we've done to refocus what it means to be a hard worker is to bring out the image of the Buffalo Soldier. So now we have a little group that wants to, work hard, because those were the men who created the National Park System, who forged the National Park System with hard work. In reframing the whole thing with Buffalo Soldiers, we've created what we call Operation Food Desert Storm. Operation Food Desert Storm is to get the food from here to the people.
And because we're Southern, if we're able to pull each other together around good food, then I think that's really a positive thing for our community.